What is good, everybody? We are live. It is Tuesday, a beautiful Tuesday. Not really. It's actually been raining here in Atlanta. I don't know how it's been for y'all.
It's beautiful up here.
Yeah,
not
75
too hot,
degrees.
Not too cold. You got a nice
Well,
breeze blowing.
We didn't get there yet. Fall time is coming, which is a beautiful time in Atlanta, Georgia. If you've never been in Atlanta, Georgia in the fall time, I suggest you do that.
That's like my favorite time of the year, the fall.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah, not too hot, not too cold.
Not too cold, baby.
King Vic, what's good?
What's going on, Vic?
This is Shoot Your Shot Podcast, episode 29.
I believe
Yep,
so.
29.
29.
Yeah. That 25 is still up there, Vic, but it's all good. It is all good. We will eventually get that one down, or we'll just get so far past it that everyone will forget about it. Florida doesn't have anything but summer. If you like summer all year round, hot ass summer, go to Florida. So, like I said, Shoot Your Shot Podcast, episode 29. We here. We're on a nice little run. All three of us been here for all the podcasts for like 2 weeks. It feels good. I'm happy to be back.
Keep it going. Let's keep it going. No vacation time for me. Anytime.
No doubt. Yeah, for real. It's grind time from here till the end of the year. Holiday season coming up. And we're going to be here for it. A little more than a month away from basketball season, which is nice. We might have something planned for that. We'll let y'all know. I think we already talked about it, but I think what they said is another 2 tropical storms coming for Florida. I think that's what I heard. But so y'all stay safe out there. So we talking, of course, week 2 of the NFL. Had some surprises, some upsets in our eyes anyway. There were some upsets. I only got one orange shirt, Vic, so I can only do so much. I do got the orange hat, but I can't wear hats with the man bun. So let's see. I guess we'll start. We'll do our squads as always. As disappointing as that might be for a couple of us, we'll do our squads first, and then we'll recap the rest of the games, and we'll go through our picks. So let's go ahead and get out the way, Joe. Let's talk about your New York Jets. How did they fare on Sunday? How you feeling? I think from your little name capture right there, we could probably already tell, but just tell the people.
Hey, I mean, I try to tell people. Nobody wants to listen. I guess they just love us being terrible. So,
yes.
We're terrible.
Yeah.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
I'll look at it.
There is no silver lining. There is no glasses half full. I don't know. I don't know what's the upside or where's the upside or what to look for or what to have hope in. Like, I assumed it would be a step up from week 1, but week 2 looked 100 times worse than week 1. At one point, he had more interceptions than completions, and if you didn't see the game, who was he throwing to? Like 3 of the 4 interceptions were to literally the other team. There was no Jet receiver in sight. Like I don't know who he was throwing to. So I mean, there's nothing you can do at this point. Just ride the season out, man. Will they win a game? That's all you look for. And who will they beat? You look at the remaining schedule with a normal good quarterback. Yeah, you could win 5 or 6 of them, but for what this guy's showing you the last 2 weeks so far, hey, man, you lucky you win 1 game this season. So maybe next year they'll in the draft they'll take my advice and try to fix what's around him opposed to drafting another quarterback. Doesn't matter how many quarterbacks you draft, that shit around him ain't nothing gonna happen. So I expected it. I tried to have faith and go with them, and I picked them to win because New England ain't got much going, but they play smart, and the Jets don't. So that's it, man. It's just a terrible display of football. It's sad to call them professional.
Yeah, I mean, I rock with you. I picked the Jets mainly just because my bias against New England, but I rocked with you because I thought they would show up. Vic, you picked New England to beat the Jets. I mean, you got anything to add? Joe looking a little sad over there. I don't know if you want to go in too hard, but you.
I ain't got nothing to add to it. Everything said. Me and Joe had this talk before. The quarterback had nothing to do with them. You should have never traded Sam Darnold. You traded him for another quarterback, and guess what? The first 2 weeks, it's the same outcome.
Nobody want to listen to me, man.
So,
they all think they know it all. People think they know it all. They think moving on from the quarterback is going to be enough, and
it's not the quarterback.
It's not the quarterback, man. I'm telling you, it don't matter who the GM is, who the head coach is, who the quarterback is. If you got shit around them, you're gonna end up looking like shit, man. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got no running back, no wide receivers, no offensive line, no tight end. Like, they got a bunch of high school people on the field. So these are grown men playing against, and this is what you're gonna get. So doesn't surprise me at all.
So what would you say if you could only address one thing? What would you say is their biggest need?
Everything.
Well, where would you start? If you're the GM, where do you start?
Everywhere. It don't matter. It don't matter where. You could close your eyes and stop and be like, okay, give me new receivers, give me new running backs, give me a new tight end, give me a new defense, like everything except the quarterback. Stop focusing on the quarterback. Give the quarterback some. I could see if he had pieces around him and he was playing like shit, then you change the quarterback. But you have nothing. You have nothing. Your number one receiver is a number 2 or 3 on any other team out there. So that's where it starts. That's like having an NBA team and your best player is a bench guy. Like, you're not gonna get far, no matter how you change it. What code you can have Phil Jackson. If your best player is Dennis Schroeder, where you going? You're not going anywhere. So go out there, hit up the market. I don't understand why they wasn't after Julio Jones or AJ Green or any one of these guys. Like, at this point, I would be happy with Josh Gordon. Like, I would take Josh Gordon. I don't give a fuck. I don't care right now. Go get Josh Gordon. Because you need something. You have nothing out there.
All right. Well, let's see who y'all got next week. We'll touch on them more on Thursday, but I just want to look at it. Y'all got the Broncos next week, so it's not going to get any easier for you.
No, it's not. It's not going to get easy at all. That's why I said with a decent to normal quarterback, you can probably win 5 to 6 games. But with this guy, he's not. He's a rookie. He's not Superman. Like, you ain't winning. You might not win 4 games with this guy.
All right. So, Vic, let's go with your squad, the 49ers, maybe a little bit more optimistic, considering y'all did get a win. How are you feeling after beating Philly 17-11?
Same way I felt last week. It was a horrible display. Like, once again, it comes down to the coaching. Hello, Facebook user. Once again, it comes down to Kyle Shanahan not trusting Jimmy G. I don't know if y'all watched the game. The run wasn't working. Jimmy G, dink and dunk, throw a screen here, throw a screen there. Wasn't working. All right, Jimmy G, go air the ball out. Guess what happened? You scored a touchdown. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's the same thing every weekend. Do you trust him or you don't trust him? If you don't trust him, then put in Trey Lance and see what we have. It's the same shit. The defensive line didn't look great once again. Didn't get no pressure. Our linebacking core is injured. Our defensive backs is out. And we lost 2 more running backs. So the injury bug is back again in San Francisco. So no optimism over here.
And
Yeah.
what's in the air over there?
I don't know. Yeah, 2 running backs. The rookie and one of the guys we signed, not draft. I can't remember his name. So yeah, Joe, I don't know what's in the air or in the water, but we just can't escape this injury bug.
That's rough. Did my boy Dre, did he play at all?
Greenlaw?
Nah, Dre Kirkpatrick. Y'all
No,
signed
he
him.
didn't play.
I figured he wouldn't. They signed him late in the week. He might mess around and be a pretty decent addition for y'all, though. Honestly, he was on number 1 corner for a long time. Number 2 behind Pac-Man when Pac-Man was still there. So he got a good pedigree. He just sometimes gets caught for them silly penalties, but it looked like all these corners and all these teams getting caught on these silly penalties this year so far, which is something I do want to at one point address. Maybe Thursday or if we got some time. Is the taunting rule. That shit got to go. That shit got to go.
They making the NFL soft, man, real soft.
Well, if we got some time, we'll get into that. But Vic, so I know you said you're not too thrilled. I mean, do you think it's mainly just the issues with the coach and Jimmy G, or you think it's the injuries? I mean, what's the biggest issue? What are you trying to address?
I'm just trying to address the play calling. Like, let Jimmy G sit back and air it out like he could do. He's proven that he's capable of doing it instead of dinking and dunking, throwing off of screens and living off of play action. Let him sit back and air it out. I'm just not feeling the play calling so far this season. And it's early. It's only week. We'll be in week 3, so we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, and y'all still 2-0, so that means a lot early on.
Yeah, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Yeah,
found a way to win it.
There was no real pressure, but to hold Philly to 11 points, like that's saying something. So, I'll take it.
I mean, Miles Sanders wasn't able to really do much. Hurts, they didn't let him look good. So it was an overall defensive performance.
So I'll say for my squad, for my Bengals, there was some positives, some things that I really liked what I saw. But then there was some big negatives. First, I'll say the defense came out looking real sluggish against Chicago. They let Andy Dalton come in and carve them up in the first drive. I mean, Andy Dalton looked like John Elway out there, the way he was slinging the thing in that first drive. Like, we had no pressure on him. We couldn't hold him. We couldn't do anything. The defense did finally settle down and put together a really good game, but the first couple of drives for Chicago were real letdowns for the offense and the defense. Yeah, we're gonna get there, Vic. I know, but we're gonna get there.
The trifecta.
Yeah. So, I touched on the refs already. There was a couple of those taunting calls on both sides, but they were a little bit bigger for us. I think one in particular was in their own end zone, and it was like 3rd and something, and Von Bell barely bumped into Andy Dalton and said 2 words, and they called taunting. So a lot of Chicago definitely benefited from a lot of drive extenders from a lot of silly penalties. And the biggest thing on both sides of the ball, we got to stay away from third downs, especially the offense. We keep. I feel like we got a similar problem with y'all, Vic. The coach, I don't think he trusts himself. Not that he doesn't trust Joe Burrow. He doesn't trust himself to call the big plays. So it's like we run the ball on first down, we run the ball on second down, and then we in a 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and then we just kind of like think it and dunk it. And my biggest question that I wanted answered in week 2 was, who are we? Who's this team going to be? And I still didn't get that answer, because when he finally let it, in the fourth quarter when it was too late, he finally let Joe Burrow throw it after those 3 interceptions in a row, which 2 were definitely on him. They were bad picks. The third one was on that offensive line. I mean, they were in his face before Joe Burrow even had time to think. But I mean, he threw 3 interceptions and then threw 2 touchdowns in a row. So, when they finally let him open it up and finally let the boy play, then we start scoring points. Ended up being too little too late. And, the game was closer than what it probably should have been. We made it exciting at the end, only ended up losing by 3, but still not a great loss. Bears, I don't think anybody really has the Bears as a top team. I in my heart of hearts, I had us 1-1-1, but I figured we would have lost to the Vikings and beat the Bears. So I don't see this as a very good loss. But still hope. I think the coach just needs to get some confidence and figure out who he wants this team to be, and then we'll be okay. I can live with making a decision and okay, we're a team that's going to air it out and run the ball and set that up for the play action to air it out. And if he throws 3 picks after that, fine. But it's just too inconsistent. They didn't get Joe Mixon going. They were I feel like they just kept calling the same run plays that weren't really effective. But and then we got the Steelers coming up this week, so that's going to be a game because it always is between us. Us two. That's a rivalry. So I don't know if they were looking past it, but the offense didn't come out. The defense they came out and I would say right now the strongest aspect of that team is our defense. Defense looking real strong out there.
I think y'all was playing mediocre, and then y'all tried to turn it on, but them interceptions and turnovers really killed y'all. Like, they came.
The two biggest plays of the game happened back to back.
Right.
We sacked what's his name, Justin Fields, forced the fumble, our guy had it. All he had to do was scoop it up, and it was 6 points. He missed it. They got the ball back. They ended up punting anyway. The next play, we had that big play to T. Higgins. Higgins fumbles it. They score after that, and then he throws the 3 picks.
Yeah,
so
that's what really killed them. So
yep.
I think if they could just keep the turnovers low, they would have pulled this victory out.
Yeah.
And I just think the team tried to get Mixon in, but he had 20 rushes for 69 yards. He just couldn't get it going. I just think that Bears front 4 kept pressure on them. That offensive line didn't do a great job at creating holes for Mixon, and they didn't do a great job protecting Joe Burrow. So that's one of the things that need to be addressed. I don't think the play calling is an issue. I think they did a great mix of passing and running. It was just that offensive line didn't give time. They didn't give time for nobody to do anything. But so that's something they're going to want to address because Pittsburgh that defense is going to be coming. So if you allow 4 sacks this week, then that might turn into 6 or 7 with Pittsburgh.
It was 5 against Minnesota.
Yeah, it was 5 against Minnesota, and it was 4 against Chicago. So, they got to do a better job at that. I think for the first 2 weeks, Burrow has been taking a beating, and that's something you don't want for a guy that's coming off of an injury like that. You want to protect him, and you want to make sure that he's not spending more time on the ground than on the air, you know. So that's just something they gotta work on. That offensive line has to work on that. Other than that, the team looks fine. You know, the play calling is good. The defense is good enough. You know, it's not like a top tier defense, but it's good enough. You know,
it's on the way.
Yeah,
it's on the way. We're not far.
Right. So if you look at, you know, the turnovers giving Chicago good field position and making things easier for Chicago, you're looking at a defense that probably would only gave up one touchdown. That's the first quarter to Andy Dalton. You know, other than that, you know, they play pretty much lockdown defense. So, you know, those
and we are
without
you know, one of our starting corners too. So
right. So other than that, if they can just get that offensive line intact and get them going, then, you know, I don't see no issues in Cincinnati.
Yeah, like I said, I'm intrigued. I definitely feel like there was definitely some positives. So we continuing to move forward, which I do like.
Definitely.
Vic, you got anything?
Nothing. Not on the Bengals.
Cool. Well, so as far as our picks, we all picked the Niners to win, so we all got that one. Me and Joe had our squads, the Bengals and the Jets, and we both lost. Vic, you picked the Patriots and the Bears, so you up 2 on us. So that'll bring us to the rest of the games this week. I want to remind everybody this is Shoot Shot Podcast, episode 29. We are still not sponsored by Essential Water, but we are still drinking it. We are unofficially the Essential Boys. Hopefully that will make that official. I'm tagging them. I'm hashtagging them. I'm gonna do what we got to do. One day.
They're gonna hit us up. It's all good.
I mean, really, how many people can they have fighting to be their sponsors?
Who knows?
Probably a lot, but you know, we're speaking into existence, people. Whenever you mention us, make sure you online, if you ever do, make sure you tag Essential Water so they know what the deal is. So let's rewind back to Thursday, which was the first game of the week. Happened right after our last episode. Giants and Washington football team. Me and Vic both have the Giants.
Don't have a name yet?
Huh?
That is the name.
Still don't have a name yet?
That is the name.
Oh man, they got to do something with that.
Real football fans know that is a real name.
I'm gonna start calling them the Redskins again.
Well,
You could do that.
you could. I don't really think. I think that you probably aren't the only one. Like you were the only one to pick the Washington football team. You picked them to win. King Vic, I know he was probably disappointed. Do we know how many turnovers did Danny Nichols have? Does anybody know?
No, I can look it up real quick.
One?
I know King Vic, he probably got it locked up, but so the Giants lost 29-30. It was off a last-second field goal, if I'm not mistaken. Shaquan Barkley did not do shit for my fantasy team. I know that much. So the Giants are 0-2, and the Reds, see, I did it right there. And the Washington football team is 1-1. I think we all kind of felt that the pressure was on Washington. But how do y'all feel about the outcome of this game, Nick?
I don't even know. Sorry, y'all. I'm a little high.
Hold on, I'm looking up these turns. Oh no,
he had none. He had 0.
Yeah,
good for him. Good for him because I went 3, so I was way off. So he had no turnovers and they still lost. Man, that's just bad luck.
I feel like the Giants isn't ready to give Saquon the keys back yet, and I think it's hurting them.
I mean, if they're not going to give him the keys, who they giving them to? I mean,
I don't know.
Danny Dimes is his car, it's his team. This is one of the things I don't like about football. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the fact that everything is the quarterback. Everything. It's like everything. The quarterback. No matter what. Like you could have a good player and it's like, give it to the quarterback. Let the quarterback do it. Everything is just on the quarterback. And that's just the way the NFL is. It's a quarterback-driven league. They put so much love into the quarterback position. Like, yeah, I get it. You need a good quarterback, but it's like you could have a great quarterback, and if you ain't got nothing around them, you're gonna have a shitty team. So everybody plays a factor. You know what I'm saying? You got 11 men on that field at a time, and let's just look at Cincinnati. They got a good quarterback. They got a good running back, good receivers, but they lacking in the offensive line. So without an offensive line, that quarterback gonna look like shit. And that's usually what happens when you keep putting so much emphasis on the quarterback, and that's all we need. That's all we need is a quarterback. This is what's gonna happen. So Jones could be a good quarterback, but if you're not giving respect and love and addressing everything that's around him, he's gonna look like shit every week, and they're gonna lose every week. Like you got a running back like Saquon Barkley. Give it to him.
I don't know who that is, but that is hilarious. That is our comment of the night right there. Did you read that, Joe?
Nah.
Hold on, put it back up.
Oh, not there yet. Almost there and fully there.
Yeah. Oh man! Shout outs to you, Polar Knights, whoever you are. That is hilarious. Appreciate that. I agree. Offensive line seems to be an issue with a lot. That seems to be the common issue with teams that are bad. This is offensive lines. You can have all of the talent in the world on the offensive side. If you got no line, O-line, you're not going to be able to do shit with it. That's why all those skilled players, you always hear the stories of them buying their offensive line food and jewelry and shit because they know they wouldn't be anything without them. As someone who I played offensive and defensive line for 1 year, so I don't have much experience, but I do know offensive line is the most underappreciated position in football because you're doing all the real heavy lifting to make everybody else look good, and I
think the running back is the most disrespected, underappreciated position on the team. They don't get no love, no respect, and no love. Like, and they do everything. They got to block for you. Sometimes they got to catch. They got to play decoy. They got to run the ball. Like, they constantly moving. They constantly in something.
Like, but they get love. They get paid. I mean,
they really don't. They gotta fight. They gotta fight for they contracts. Like the contract a running back does get, he gotta fight tooth and nail to get that shit. And if what they'll do is they'll prolong negotiations with you 2 or 3 years and then say, oh, you only got a year or 2 left in your body. We don't feel like we should pay you. So you never could fight. The life expectancy of a running back in the NFL is like 5 years now. And that's not because he's garbage. That's due to teams just giving up on you after a certain amount of time. Like, these running backs still be having years left in them. They just don't get the love and respect. Like, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Where's Todd Gurley?
He's somewhere.
I thought he got signed.
I didn't hear nothing. Last time I checked, he was at home.
I know Devontae Freeman got signed.
Yeah,
I was going to say I saw that.
But like, a lot of these running backs get treated like dog crap, man. Like dog crap. And then you expect them to be happy and continue pushing and continue fighting. Like, no. It works hand in hand. You gotta feed me to keep me happy, and you gotta appreciate me in order to be happy and want to do this for you. You know? So I don't know, man.
Yeah, I feel you. That's hilarious. Yeah, he going off in the comments today. That is hilarious. Yo, brother Beard,
you really
man.
Think Saquon Barkley gonna get a good contract?
Not if he keep it up like he has been.
Yeah, but is it his fault that he's playing like this or looking like this?
No,
it's not his fault. The same thing goes for all of them. Look at Zeke. It's not Zeke's fault. Like some of this don't go on them. So I don't know, man. They the most underappreciated positions in the game.
Well, that's a debate for another day. We'll keep it moving. Let's go to Pittsburgh and Las Vegas Raiders. You both had Pittsburgh winning. I did not. I was right. Y'all were wrong. 26-17 Raiders.
Thank you, Vic.
You're welcome.
I ain't listening to you no more.
Sorry.
That defense gave up 26.
Look.
How did your boy Watt do after that payday? Week number 2 of the payday.
He ain't do bad. He ain't do great. The whole team didn't play well at all. I think it's time for them to move on from Ben.
They should have been moved on from Ben.
He had three tackles and a sack.
But again,
another sack.
This is what I was saying about the love for the quarterback. How long can a running back do that? How long can a running back play shitty before a team moves on from him?
Not long at all.
This dude, Ben Roethlisberger, been looking like shit for 4 years, 5 years now.
Yeah, it's time for them to move on.
They should have been moved on from him.
And you know why they haven't? Because they so stupid. They haven't invested in at all in a new quarterback.
They gave him a big contract, and now they stuck with him. They moved on from Le'Veon Bell. They moved on from Antonio Brown. They moved on from everything and kept Ben Roethlisberger for what?
He must got something on the owner or something.
Yeah, they buddy.
Yeah, it's the quarterback love.
But again, they haven't invested. They haven't invested in their future quarterback. Who they got backing them up? Rudolph.
Oh, Mason.
Nah.
Yeah, the dude that Myles Garrett smashed with the helmet.
Yeah.
They got Haskins from Washington.
Oh yeah, they did sign him.
So they still don't have a backup.
I thought it was his team. I thought it was going to be his team the way he played in the preseason.
Hey, well, if that's the case, I hope they bring him in on Sunday, because I would love to destroy Haskins. He is not a good quarterback.
I would disagree with that. I don't think he's that bad. So
well, it's either going to take. Well, because the Steelers are 1-1, it's going to take an injury, because I don't see the Steelers just uprooting Big Ben, in the middle of the season. It's going to take an injury.
They're going to look by week 8 when they 2-6 or something like that. They're going to say, you know what, this shit ain't working, man. It's just not working.
Well, I hope the trend continues, because we need to beat them. We haven't beat them in a little minute, so. I hope that their bad play continues onto Sunday, and we get a victory. So then next up we got Cleveland and the Texans. We all had Cleveland winning by a bigger margin than they won. It was a close game at one point. I remember looking and thinking, like, damn, it's a little closer than people probably would like. But these are y'all's Browns. It's your Browns. So how'd y'all feel about your Browns last week?
I felt
Either
great.
y'all.
I felt fantastic. Baker went 19 for 21. Nick Chubb, I think, went 11 for 95. Jarvis Landry did get injured. He's out for like 3 weeks, I think. So that's definitely a big loss.
Insert Odell, baby.
Yeah.
Insert Odell. Now it's Odell's turn. So,
yeah. So yeah, I feel good.
Yeah, I liked everything I saw. They played conservative. They played to win. They didn't go out there looking flashy, trying to look flashy. They did what they needed to do to win, and they got the victory. That's all that counts. So at the end of the day, they won, and that's it.
So both of those teams are 1-1 going into next week. Cleveland has the Bears. So I guess that'll be an interesting game to watch. So next up we have who's next? We have Denver and the Jaguars. Denver should have won this game by a whole lot more, but they end up winning 23-13. We all had them winning, so we were all right there. Anything jump out at y'all or surprise you with this game?
I mean, it wasn't an explosive blowout, but Denver controlled the whole game. There was not at one point where you thought the Jaguars was going to win this. Like, they controlled the whole game. So that Denver's defense is getting better every week. They look good, and they're going to continue to grow and look better. They're a sneaky, dangerous team. Teddy Bridgewater, he wasn't flashy, but he threw for over 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, didn't turn the ball over, and that's what you want out of your quarterback. So be careful. You know what I'm saying? This is a sneaky team right here.
Yeah, Von Miller's, I think he's finally healthy again. He had 3 tackles, 2 sacks. I think that's a big boost for that team and their defense because they've been missing him the past couple of years. He hasn't really been healthy. So let's get him moving to the game. It's probably the first of a few real big surprises. We had the Saints and the Panthers. We all had the Saints winning. We all got fooled. Jameis fooled us. And he put up a stinker and lost 26-7 against the Carolina Panthers. So my question to y'all is, are the Saints not who we thought they were, or are the Panthers not who we thought they were?
I think it might be a combination of both. Honestly. As a whole team, the Saints played bad. They didn't run the ball well. They didn't block well. They didn't play no defense at all. And Winston looked like a rookie quarterback out there. Am I concerned? No, I won't say that I'm concerned. Sam Darnold looks good, like we thought he would. Anybody surprised?
No, he got weapons around him. He got a looks like a halfway decent offensive line.
He's got a great defense.
Good defense.
That backfield is fast as hell.
DJ Moore is one of those wide receivers who's up and coming. Joe, how'd you feel about? I mean, you got a decent look at the Panthers week 1. I mean, how you feel? What do you think?
Darnold is doing exactly what I knew he was going to do. He looks good. You give him something to work with, and it ain't like the Panthers got other than like Christian McCaffrey, like, you know, they receivers are decent. They not, you know, Pro Bowl wide receivers, but you know, they good enough. They get the job done. And he has more than one weapon, so it helps him out. As far as New Orleans go, well, that's the problem with Jameis Winston. That's why Tampa Bay moved on from him, because one week you get him looking like, you know, Tom Brady. The next week you get him looking like a Jets quarterback, insert whoever. This is what you're going to get. Any given week, you don't know. So he played like an all-star week 1. Week 2 he played like shit. So hopefully week 3 he'll play good again. And that's how the season gonna go. They're either gonna finish 8-9 or 9-8. So it doesn't really surprise me. I mean, I didn't think it was going to come this early. I thought he would put up at least 2 to 3 good games before giving you a bad one. But, hey, get it out your system early, man.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the blame has to go to Jameis, but a fair share of that blame needs to go to that defense, too. They gave up a lot of points, and they didn't show up. You know, Vic said multiple times, you know, they're a top-tier defense, or supposed to be. They didn't look like one. You know, Carolina does have, you know, weapons, but, you know, that's not an excuse. You know, you're losing by almost 20. It could have been more. The whole team needed to just show up and give a better effort, especially for the city of New Orleans and that Saints team. I know New Orleans fans go hard for the Saints. I mean, as far as people in New Orleans, where, you know, live in New Orleans, no other team even exists other than the Saints. They don't give a shit about the Pelicans or any other teams going on in Louisiana. It's Saints or nothing. So, you know, that fan base deserves a little better than that. So they got to show up.
Well, it's not easy when you're on the field for the whole game, basically. Like,
yeah.
New Orleans had the ball for 21 minutes. Like, you couldn't even control tempo. Like, Jameis Winston was 3 and out all day. So that defense was kind of like worn down. They were kind of tired.
They didn't score that one single touchdown until the fourth quarter. So
right, which was pretty much their longest drive, you know, of the game. So before that, they didn't have the ball. They was 3 and out. You know, so I don't know. They need to do better in protecting the ball, not turning the ball over, and even if you're not going to score, longer drives help. Keep the defense on the sideline, keep your defense fresh, and it also keeps the opposing quarterback out of rhythm when he's sitting down for 10, 15, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? But if you got him out there, then he sits down for 5 minutes and gets back up, like he's still hot, you know? So that's what killed him.
So next up, we got Colts and Rams. Joe, you and I, we picked the Rams. Vic, you picked the Colts. It was a lot closer than I think any of us thought it was going to be. The Colts barely lost this game. Final score ended up being 27-24. So, you know, Colts showed up. So I gotta give it to you, Vic. Even though you lost the pick, I mean, you saw something in the Colts that clearly me or Joe didn't see. So you want to talk about them for a second? What do you think?
They was very well on their way to winning the winning drive until Carson Wentz.
It wasn't Wentz. It was the backup.
No, he sprained both of his ankles.
Oh, I thought you meant the interception.
No. He sprained both of his ankles, and the backup comes in and throw a pick on the second play. What's the number one question on Wentz? Can he stay healthy?
Can he stay healthy?
How you sprain both of your ankles?
Yeah, how does that happen?
I don't know.
I honestly thought you were joking for a second. Like,
No,
No, he did.
he sprained both his ankles.
on the same play?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, nah. He just got to give it up after that. He sprained both ankles. Like,
it's like jumping off a roof and landing flat-footed or some shit. Like, I don't know, but I mean, Indianapolis, they impressed me. That defense impressed me. I thought Stafford and that company was gonna go out there and air it out, and I thought he was gonna put up another 4-touchdown game, and that defense kept them in it. They kept them. They kept fighting. You know, they put up a good fight, but like Vic said, Wentz went down, and that backup, and I wasn't watching it because I was driving to work. I was listening to it on the radio, and yeah, I heard it in his second play. You know, he just dropped back, and like I could tell from the way the announcer was talking that this didn't look good. Like, and I'm driving like this guy's gonna throw an interception, and in the second play, yeah, he threw an interception.
There you go.
And I was like, that's it. That killed him. That's the end of it. So, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know.
yeah. I guess I to be honest, I feel like I've completely underestimated the Colts. I don't know much about that team. I mean, they are 0-2, which is unfortunate, but you know they played really hard both these games, and that's just unfortunate. But you know, again, if your starting quarterback can't stay healthy, you're not going to be too successful, you know, in this league. Especially when you got, you know, when the guy shows so much promise when he is healthy. You know, it's unfortunate to see, but I mean, injuries are a part of the game, so you got to ride with it. Next up, we had the AFC supposed winning Miami Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills. We all had the Bills. Well, we had those Dolphins fans been real quiet since before week 1. They were all talking about they were AFC champions and shit.
And they was going 17-0.
Yeah. So the Dolphins fan, we lost our Dolphins fan base. They probably haven't come back because they probably know we're shitting on them now
Derek.
at this very minute. Yeah, Derek. I know he'll watch eventually. Derek, your team sucks, man. Your team sucks. There's nothing more to it. They got blown out. It wasn't even a game. Didn't they get 2 quarterbacks hurt? Like they should have just they should at 21-0. They should just stop the game. Mercy rule. Because Buffalo put a beating on these boys.
Do we trust Alabama quarterbacks?
It's kind of like Dookie's going into the NBA. Other than Kyrie, like they don't usually make it.
I've never trusted Alabama quarterbacks.
Why is it? Because they're just part of they're product of a system?
No, because Alabama has a full team. Their whole team is loaded. So you could pretty much plug anyone at quarterback. This is why they always the number 1 team in the country. Because they got everything. They got running backs. They got wide receivers. They got a tight ends. They got an offensive line. They got like 50-something, 60 players in the league right now. All spread out through the NFL. They got they pretty much got a whole football team in the NFL. It's not just they got offensive linemen, defensive linemen, cornerbacks, safeties. They got pretty much everybody in the NFL right now. You could pretty much plug anyone at quarterback and they'll still be successful. Why do we trust Alabama quarterbacks in the NFL? I don't trust them. Name a quarterback that has came from Alabama that has succeeded in the NFL?
I can't think of any off the top of my head.
It's like USC like 10, 15 years ago when USC was running shit and they were sending all these quarterbacks to the NFL. Mark Sanchez, Matt Leinart. Like people don't remember these guys. These were damn near Hall of Fame quarterbacks in college, but they come to the NFL and what? Stink. Straight shit. I don't know, man. Maybe Miami need to call Cam. I don't know.
Yeah, well, they say Tua's gonna be out for a while, so
maybe they need
it's
to
possible.
call Cam. It was good that Tua's gone. It's good that it happened this way. I don't wish injuries on no one, but it's best that it happened this way because if you kept him in there over the next 3-4 weeks, he wouldn't have looked good at all anyway. He wouldn't have looked good. So now you're forced to go out there and get a quarterback. Go get a quarterback. You don't have to call Cam if you don't want to, but get a quarterback. Get someone.
They need something back there. Vic, you got anything to add on this ass whooping?
Out of that ass whooping, Josh Allen didn't play good at all. I think he completed about 40% of his passes, probably 17 for 35 or something like that. He looked horrible.
17 for 33, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an INT.
He looked horrible. He didn't look good week 1. He didn't look good week 2. The defense looked great. The running game decided to wake up. He's getting carried right now. He's not looking like last year's Josh Allen.
They say he can't play with fans in the stands.
Did they really say that?
Yeah, that's what they saying. They saying he can't play with fans in the stands. He was looking great because there wasn't a lot of fans in the stands. So.
That's hilarious.
But that just goes to show you how bad Miami is. Look at them numbers Josh Allen put up, and they lost 35-0. What if Josh Allen has a Josh Allen game? What are we talking now? 56-0?
One of my call-outs, yeah.
Well, I got Buffalo winning the Super Bowl, so Josh Allen needs to step the fuck up and play with some fans in the stadium.
Good luck with that.
I'm stuck to my pick. I mean, shit, you got him in the Super Bowl, so you thought highly of him too.
Yeah, I also got him. Super Bowl? I got him losing in the Super Bowl, so I don't care if they make it or not. At the end of the day, they losing.
Well, they are. They let's see who they got next week. They got Washington next week, so he's gonna be going up against a good defense. So we'll see what he's made of. Let's see. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That game ended up being a blowout. Tom Brady, I think, threw to every receiver, a touchdown to every receiver he possibly could, and a running back or two. That ended up being a blowout, 48-25. Atlanta, they just don't got it. It's not looking good for Atlanta. Matt Ryan threw for 300 yards, but he threw 3 picks, only 2 touchdowns. The rookie Kyle Pitts had 5 receptions, 73 yards. Calvin Ridley 7 catches, 63 yards and a touchdown. But I feel like Atlanta pretty much just they gotta for the rest of this season just call it a day and get that number 1 pick and hope it's somebody that they can use.
Oh no, I agree. It's time to move on from Mac.
Yeah,
you got all you could get out of him. It's just time to move on.
Yeah.
Tom Brady has mentally fucked Matt Ryan. He is mentally done. And then on top of that, you took just about everything he had around him away from him. So, he doesn't have a good running back. He doesn't have no real receivers. Kyle Pitts is a good tight end, but he's a rookie and he's out there by himself. So,
Calvin Ridley's a good receiver, but other than that, they got nothing.
Yeah, they don't really have much. And he like, I don't know. I just don't see really as enough to take the attention away from other players. Like, you don't have to double really. You know, you could pretty much single cover zone him and keep him under control. So you're not allowing Kyle Pitts to do anything. I don't know. I think Matt Ryan. I think his time in Atlanta is done. I don't think he's done. I think he still has something left in his tank, but his time in Atlanta is over. He needs to leave Atlanta. And
He's not the kind of quarterback Atlanta wants anyway. Atlanta
go to
wants
Miami.
one of these running gun guys. You know, they want someone who's going to be exciting, who's going to electrify, and that's not Matt Ryan. Never has been Matt Ryan at his best. But
He needs to go to Miami. Go to Miami, Matt.
yeah, he'd love it in Miami.
Go to Miami. That's what he needs to do. He needs to force his way out of Atlanta and go to Miami before the year is up. He needs to be in Miami within the next 4 weeks. And he can do something out there.
There it is. You heard it here first.
Because Tua is not the answer.
So next up, we had the Vikings and the Cardinals. Cardinals won it off the last-second field goal, if I'm not mistaken. This game made me a little more proud of that Week 1 victory for my Bengals because Arizona looked much better against the Cardinals than they did against us. But they still ended up losing, so they go 0-2. Arizona 2-0. Dalvin Cook had a much more Dalvin Cook type game. He didn't score, but he had 131 yards. All their receivers got involved. So, I mean, overall, probably one of the better games of the week. Give me your take on this game in Minnesota in general, Vic.
Arizona should have lost the game. The kicker missed the field goal at the end to win it.
Wasn't he released? Didn't they?
Yeah.
They released.
Arizona had the chance to win. Arizona didn't play great.
He missed that field goal and got fired.
Isn't that how it normally goes? with kickers?
Got fired on his day off.
Got fired. Not even, before he could finish his shower, he was fired, yo.
They didn't even get on the same plane.
They wasn't playing. They was like, yo, how did you miss that? To be honest, some from Washington would have went through the same treatment if that penalty wasn't called. Good thing that the Giants got a penalty and he was able to kick that shit again because he missed the easy one. And I seen it all in his face. I could see his face through the fucking helmet. And I was like, oh, he's going to miss this. You seen it. And good thing the Giants had that penalty, man. Like I'm telling you, his face was nervous as shit. He had a lot of pressure on him to kick that field goal. But yeah, that shit was funny, man. I don't know how he missed that, man. Like that's your job. You ain't got to run. You ain't got to block. You ain't got to catch. You got one job. Kick this fucking football through them goddamn goalposts. And I don't know how them dudes be missing. And these are easy field goals. It's not like it's 60 yards, 50-something yards. Like you should be able to hit a 40-something yard field goal with no problem. And these guys got problems, man. They don't make them like they used to.
Surely don't.
Where's the Morton Andersons and the Vanderjacks and all those guys from back in the days, man? Vinatieri's and all of them, man. They don't make them like they used to. They really don't. But that was funny, man. Dude missed the field goal and was fired. Like, he was released, like, within minutes. That was one of the quickest firings I ever seen in my life, bro.
That's the definition of a tight leash.
Yo, man, it was fun. That was funny. And I'm pretty sure he found out through social media like all of us did. They probably didn't even tell his ass in his face.
They just tweeted to him.
That's disrespectful.
They tweeted that shit, hashtagged his name, and that's how he found out. But I mean, yeah, I picked Arizona to win, but at the time I thought Minnesota had the game. I'm like, that's it. They got this game. And what do you know?
Surprise.
Surprise. You can't have everything in the kicker's hand this time. So Arizona's thanking they lucky stars, man. Thanking they lucky stars.
So next up, we got the Tennessee Titans and Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks were winning this game handily, and then I don't know what the hell happened, and they gave it up and ended up losing to the Titans. Derrick Henry went off. Joe, we know that's your real MVP pick. Why don't you talk about Derrick Henry and Titans and that comeback?
Hurricane Henry, baby. 189 yards in the second half. He does what he normally do. He has a slow first half, and everybody think it's not going to happen, and it happens. And last year he had 3 games where he finished under 60 yards, and the next game following those games, he had over 200. So last week he finished with what, 50, 53?
Yeah.
Something like that. And this week, over 200. So best believe when a team contains Derrick Henry and he has a bad game, you better feel sorry for the next opponent. He's not going to give you 2 bad games. So Hurricane Henry ran all over, and they couldn't stop that, you know. It was kind of like karma. Seattle had Marshawn Lynch for how many years, and he was kind of doing the same thing, terrorizing, just bully beasting defenses. They got a taste of what that felt like, and his name is Derrick Henry. Way to go. Way to go.
So the crazy thing here is Ryan Tannehill threw for 347 yards and not 1 touchdown. Like that
he didn't need to.
He didn't need to.
He didn't need
yeah,
to.
that's just like that stat line like is damn near like, you know,
Yeah,
granted
that's
he
a
didn't
lot
throw
of
it
yards.
either.
That's a lot of yards.
You just don't see that usually.
But you know what happens is that running and passing go hand in hand. Your run game opens up the passing game, and then your passing game opens up the run game. The whole objective is to keep the defense on their toes, not knowing what you're going to do. So what happens is Derrick Henry wasn't giving you small runs. You know, you pass the ball 2 times, and then when you hand the ball off to him, this dude is running for a touchdown. So it's like, damn. Just when I thought I was going to pass for a touchdown, this guy fucking just ran 40-something, 50 yards for a touchdown. So that's what was going on. And you know, the good thing is he didn't have any touchdowns. How many interceptions did he have?
None.
0. That's what I said. Yeah, none.
So that's the objective, man. You ain't got to always throw for a touchdown, but them interceptions, man, you keep them interceptions low, you keep them turnovers low, chances are we will win this game. And that's the key right there.
So you also had a big bounce back game for Julio, 6 receptions, 128 yards, led the team in receiving by overwhelming margin. So it was good to see him bounce back. And a lot of people overreacted to that week 1 poor performance. But we'll keep it moving. Next up we got Dallas and the Chargers. You both picked Dallas to win. I picked the Chargers to win. Dallas won by 3. Dak, another 237, no touchdowns, 1 INT. I mean, they didn't look great. The Chargers also didn't look great. Both teams are 1-1. Y'all feeling strongly about either of these teams? I mean, I know nobody really has a lot of confidence in Dallas, really in general, but you know, how y'all feel about either of these teams?
I feel good about the Chargers. The Dallas is a toss-up. they're like Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know which team you're gonna get. One week you might get a good-looking team, the next week you're gonna get the complete opposite. So Dallas is always gonna be a question mark every year because they go into the Super Bowl every year.
You know what I find funny? When they play great, when Dak has like phenomenal numbers, they lose. And
Yeah,
then when he put up shitty numbers, they win. Like, I don't understand it. Like, he could throw for over 350 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they'll lose the game. And then he'll
That was
throw
week
for
1.
and then he'll throw for 200 and something yards, no touchdowns, an interception, and they'll win the game. Like, I don't know. They're so confusing. You flip a coin every week. Like, every week, just flip a coin, and whatever it lands on, you say, fuck it. Heads, they win. Tails, they lose. And just go with that because they're so unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get. And that's what I got Sunday. I picked them to win, but I honestly, halfway through the game, midway through the third quarter, I thought they was going to lose. And I'm like, damn, Dallas is going to blow this. And
not again.
And they did what they had to continue to keep the win. Like, I don't think they flashy. That's what it is. They not a flashy team, and they need to realize that. They a blue-collar team. Go out there and do what you got to do to win. Fuck this scoring 50-something points, trying to air it out, trying to run 420-something, 200 yards. Like, that's not who y'all are. You play conservative, get it close, get it in the red zone, and let Zeke try to get it in from 5 yards, 6 yards. And that's what y'all do, man. Because when you're trying to be out there looking pretty, they don't have pretty receivers. Amari Cooper is their number one, and he's not that fast. He's not the fastest. He's not the slickest. Just go out there, get your 70, 80 yards, and do it that way. Same thing goes for CeeDee Lamb. You're not a flashy receiver. Stop trying to be. Go out there, you get your 60, 70 yards, fight hard, and that's it. Zeke, you're not a guy that's going to run for 140, 130. You go out there, you get your 80 yards, 70 yards when it counts, and that's it. And that'll lead to more victories. I think them trying to be this pretty team and Dak throwing for 350, Cooper trying to receive 420, I think that's what be killing them because they overplay their hand, and now you throwing more interceptions. You're turning the ball over more. Zeke is fumbling a lot more. When you keep all that under control, turn to victories. So play blue collar.
So we got the final 2 games. We have the Ravens and the Chiefs Sunday night game. Lamar's finally got that victory against the Chiefs. Do you think this victory, and we were all wrong, we all had the Chiefs winning, so Baltimore upset all of us. Do you think this victory helps the Ravens propel to have a better season than they might have had they lost this game?
Definitely. You looking at instead of what they would have been 0-2, they 1-1.
Mm-hmm.
Like that shit is a whole different season now, you know. But I just hope Lamar Jackson took Clyde Edwards-Helaire to dinner and thanked him for fumbling. He need to do something. Buy him a watch, a ring, something. Do something to show your appreciation, because that I don't know what you're thinking to fumble that ball. Like, you got to protect the ball at that time. As you see, Kansas City was smart. They didn't try to do too much. They were in field goal range. They just wanted to burn some clock and maybe get a little closer and keep the ball in the middle of the field. And Edwards-Helaire fumbled, and that changed everything. So,
what you think, Vic?
Now, I agree with everything Joe said. It completely switched the momentum. And that's the difference between, like Joe said, with a running back spanning life, is he should get cut, right?
Well, I wouldn't say cut because who you going to replace him with? But he damn sure needs a talking to. Like, at that moment in time, it's like two hands on the ball. Stop trying to be pretty. You know, two hands on the ball. You lead with your shoulders and your head, and you get them 2-3 yards necessary. Like, we ain't trying. All they needed was a field goal, and they win. You know, Kansas City win, and you did this. I don't know.
That kind of turnover can make or break a running back mentally.
It
You know,
can, but
he can recover from this and be okay, or he can break down mentally and become, you know, a dude that fumbles. He's got to decide because he's got to put that work in.
But pressure, but that also could come from your team. Like, you can overcome this if your team is willing to trust you again and give you the ball. But if, like, situations like that, if they like, nah, man, remember what happened last time, and I don't know if we should do that. Now you may feel that way psychologically, but I don't think they should like cut him and move on from him and you know, burn him for that, because it's one game, and you know, he's young. This is what, his second year. So, you know, you give him time to grow. I'm pretty sure he's gonna learn.
Of course.
He's gonna learn from this. I don't think he'll make this same mistake twice.
You hope not. Last game we got a Monday night game, Packers and Lions. This was a must win for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and he showed up. I think he did 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns, 2 for 27.
Yeah, I mean,
no
turnover. He had an Aaron Rodgers game. He showed us, you know, all, you know. So what do we think the issue was week 1? I mean, where was this week 1?
Maybe he wasn't there mentally.
Maybe it wasn't, you know, that's two primetime games for the Packers in 2 weeks. I mean, you got to get up for those games, but you know, they look like a completely different team as opposed to the team that showed up week 1. So, you know, maybe he felt like Joe said, you know, you go down 0-2 and you lose to the Lions, you gotta go.
I think in week 1, he showed them a glimpse of what it could be like without me. And in week 2, he showed them a glimpse of what it's like with me. Make your choice. Make your pick. You want to play this season without me, or you want to play this season with me? Choice is yours. Because if you get rid of Aaron Rodgers, like he played that game like that was conservative. He wasn't even airing it out. Because if you look, he only had 260 something, 270 something
255.
Yards? Yeah, 255. Look, come on. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not a normal 255 guy. He's 300 and better, 350, especially with 4 touchdowns. 4 touchdowns, you're expecting 3 and some change, damn near 400 yards. So he played real conservative. He only passed the ball 27 times. He only missed 5 passing attempts. So he played conservative. He didn't air it out. He didn't give you him. He just showed you, yo, I could do this. I could still do this. And if you look at some of the throws, like, yo, he threw one of these passes on the move, like off his back leg, and the shit traveled for like 40-something, 50 yards. I'm looking like, what the hell? Is this dude still human? Like, is he human? So he showed you like what it is with me and what it is without me. You make your choice now. And if Green Bay was smart, they'll do what they got to do to keep him, because I don't think they'll be good without him. I don't care who you plug in at quarterback. This is not that type of team that you can just put anyone at quarterback and they'll be successful. They are successful because Aaron Rodgers is a dangerous man.
He's a bad man.
He's a dangerous guy. And I feel sorry for Green Bay if they let him go. And I feel great for any team that is lucky enough to get him. And it's simple.
Yeah. On the flip side, you got Jared Goff as your leading rusher for the Lions. 4 carries, 46 yards. That's not going to get it done. I mean, the Lions are, probably one of the most saddest franchises in sports. They just can't seem to ever get it right. Oof. Man,
I don't know what's going on there. I think they just got bad mojo around them. I don't know. I don't know what it is about them.
How many great players' careers have they wasted? I mean, just it's a sad world. Yeah.
Two. They forced 2 players into early retirement.
Yeah.
Way early. Like
that says a lot.
Early.
Yeah, and I mean, if they would have kept Stafford for his whole career, he'd have been another one that just got wasted away. They did him a favor, trading him to LA.
You already see the difference.
Yeah.
Like in 2 games, in game 1, you saw the difference. But you could see the difference clearly after 2 games. Look how Jared Goff looks in Detroit. You wouldn't even think this man was in the Super Bowl 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
The way he looks in Detroit right now. He's fearing for his life. I guarantee you he wants out of there. He would love to get out of Detroit right now.
I don't blame him.
After 2 games.
I don't either. So week two wrap up is complete. Joe and Vic, y'all both went 10-6. That is the same record you had last week, Vic. Joe, you flipped your record from last week. You went 6-10, so now you went 10-6. I stayed exactly the same at 9-7 both weeks. So Joe, you have an overall record so far of 16-16. Vic, you are at 20-12. I'm at 18-14. So not too many games separating us right now, but it's still early. We will give y'all our picks on Thursday, 6 o'clock. Make sure you're there. This has been episode 29 of Shoot Your Shot podcast. I hope y'all enjoy. There won't be any games. Yeah, the next game will be Thursday. So we'll catch y'all Thursday right before that game. We'll give you our picks and talk any breaking news. Real quick, Joe, you got anything you want to say about the Ben Simmons situation? He said he ain't showing up. He said he ain't showing up. Fuck y'all.
They said they're gonna find him. So
see how long that lasts.
Let's see how long that lasts.
You
ain't gotta show up, but if you want that bread, you gotta show up. So let's see who buckle first and who crumble first. I'm hearing trade rumors to Houston. I don't like that trade because I don't think John Wall makes Philly better. I don't know. Like I said, I think one of the best places Simmons can go is Golden State. And other than that, like it's not many places for him to go, But what Golden State has to offer to Philly, that'll keep them where they at or make them better. They really don't have nothing to give Philly. So
who gets traded first, Deshaun Watson or Ben Simmons?
Oh, Ben Simmons. I think Deshaun Watson is going to get the rot treatment. They're going to have him on the sideline just rotting away and possibly lower his value, which I don't understand why you would do that, because that hurts the Texans more than anybody. If you have him on the sideline just rotting away, nobody's going to give you what you're asking for as far as 3 first rounders and all this, that, and the third. So
Hey, you know what? We were talking about Atlanta.
I mean, I think Houston
swap out.
They need to do something. Houston needs to do something and do something fast. Same thing with Philly. Philly need to do something and do something fast. You're gonna keep them, keep them. If not, hurry up and make a move, man. The season is creeping up on us, so you know, we don't want to go into the season with this drama, whether it's real or not.
Now, with no bad motive.
You agree?
I definitely agree. He's going to Golden State.
I agree too. So with that being said, we're gonna get up out of here. We appreciate everybody that's in the chats that listened, everyone that will listen later on YouTube. We appreciate y'all. We will catch y'all on Thursday. We out.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a good night. Peace.